Hi, my name is Rachel, and I'm back with my brand new bullet journal for the second half of 2018. I started my last one uh, for the month of December of 2017, and it's taken me all the way through May, and now I've run out of pages, so it's time for me to transition into a new notebook. And in this one, I'm going to be attempting to fit 7 months in with a page a day system like I typically use. So space is kind of at a premium here, which is why I have a very condensed setup for my overall collections for this notebook. I've eliminated a lot of things that I use, like the books that I own to keep track of. I'm just gonna have to deal, and a lot of like trackers and stuff like that I'm just not gonna have space for. But if I can make it 7 months in this notebook, then I should be set up pretty well to go 6 months to a notebook moving forward. So I just got to make it through this one, which is why I'm doing this kind of header collage on my very first blank page. It's not even the first page of the notebook, and I'm already trying to fit stuff in here. But I like how it turned out. I used some song lyrics and photos that I printed out to create kind of a mood board for these summer months that we're going into now, especially since this is like the beginning of the new journal and it's the beginning of the summer. This was a really fun page to do. I just tumbled in a few pictures and the song lyrics and added some washi tape and doodles and pen to fill in the empty space. Yeah. And then I wrapped it up by drawing some little fish up there at the top, and that was my collage. So the next thing that I did was my overall kind of cover page for this notebook, and then I used a quote that I found that I've kind of needed to hear a lot recently, which is use your voice. It was given to you for a reason. Just, I don't know. I thought it was kind of a nice thing, and maybe it would help me to overcome some social anxiety, I hope. So I just drew it in pen, very simple. Just some simple cursive lettering. I just used the same pen for all of it. And then it was a little blank, so I outlined it with my blue Tombow and filled in these hanging stars all around it. I like how this page looks has a lot of like white space in contrast to the collage page facing it. Yeah. Pretty much all I did for that one. The next page that I did was my months of 2018. I usually spread these out over 2 pages, so this condensing them onto one was kind of a new thing for me, even though I've seen it kind of around a lot on Instagram and YouTube. But I really like how it looked. I only made one minor mistake, and I caught it in time before I carried it all out. It's that month of August. It's over 1 row, but I just wrote the actual dates of August in the correct place instead of continuing the mistake. So I caught that in time. Yeah. You'll notice here that I did not include a key in my bullet journal setup, and that's because I never reference it anymore anyways. I kind of know at this point like what I use my different symbols for, And in case you're interested or whatever, it's just the typical bullet journal symbols with a couple that I made up, but I have posted a lot of photos of my key, and I believe it was in a previous video, but it never changes and I know what it is, so I figure even if I like go back and I decide I want it, I can use a scan of my old key and tape it in somewhere instead of taking up a whole new page for it. So I believe this is actually the last page of my overall setup. It was only like 4 pages long and one of them wasn't even a real page of the notebook. So this was a kind of intentions page. It was in my old notebook, but in that notebook it was called happiness, I believe, and in the one before that it was resolutions, but neither of those words seem to fully fit it. I mean, I think happiness is better than resolutions, because resolutions just sounds like a bad thing at this point, so so I left it as happiness here, and then I didn't like how I wrote it out, so I did a patch job and then I ran out of Tombow, so I had to go find some more and put it in. And then I just lettered out the different intentions that were listed in my old notebook, and I just separated them with a double slash to kind of conserve space so that I could have some room for pictures, so that it would be a little more of a landing place for my eyes and I'd be more likely to look back at it more frequently to remember my intentions for this second half of 2018. So now we are on to my June setup. Those were all of my pages for my bullet journal, so I'm not sure how much I'll miss the extra collections up there, but hopefully not too much, since I spend most of my time on my dailies anyway. But it was important for me to have this June header, cover page, whatever you like to call it. It's really more of a mood board this time. And instead of just like a straight up illustration like I sometimes do. June is my birthday month, so in my journals, June is often like a Tingle theme, because that's a movie that revolves around a birthday kind of thing. And also, this winter I watched Tingle the series the first time, which was just great, like all around wonderful, wonderful experience. I would highly recommend it. And those are some lyrics from, I don't know, like the credit song or something. Yeah, so overall I just kind of had fun with this page, threw some stuff down, and wrote those lyrics in to just kind of remind myself what I want this next month to feel like. And then there's the little sun, and then this page is my reading list. The picture I used ended up kind of long, so I'll see if I run out of space near the bottom of the page, or I'll just read less books, I don't know. And then this was the calendar, and this is why I have that that like mini month page at the beginning, because I always use those to reference what my monthly calendars will look like. And then for this, I did something that I've done quite a few times before, where I used a piece of paper to cover up the whole left side of the page, and not only does it like look nice, but it also makes it really easy to grab and flip to at a moment's notice, which makes this a really functional setup for this page. And then I just wrote the names of the days in there. I have a Monday start in case you were using these months. I don't know. And then the last page of my June setup is my gratitude page, and like I did last month, I decided to decorate it up a little bit. I found that when I put the photo in, I didn't actually miss that space, so yeah. And then I finished up by indexing my new pages and writing down the page length and width at the bottom for reference in case I'm counting out for layouts or something. And then I erased a couple lines, and I took the photos that I didn't use and clipped them together so that throughout the month I could stick to that same theme. And then here I've just come to do a quick flip through of the different pages that I've set up for this notebook. And I wasn't sure about this, but I've made a couple of these videos now and I found that I enjoy it, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep doing these. So if you're interested, you know, do the things that people do on YouTube, you know, the like whatever, subscribe, like something, yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!